你有哪些地方打得比我好？你应该去总结这些东西。你妈的去找这种原因，那你妈不是傻逼吗？我靠！好了，我们作为对吧？我作为解说，大家作为观众，其实我也是观众。那现在就跟你们陪着大家看看比赛啊。这个比赛反正今天应该也是最后一场了，但是今天反正不管怎么说，李佩丹如果说赢了 Major， 我们第一时间我们就会把这个比赛切到 Major 里面野兵营的狗逼。但李佩丹是2季开啊，无所谓，野了一个兵营。只要李佩丹赢了 Major， 我们会第一时间把比赛切到样的比赛，样和大和的比赛。当然，如果李佩丹如果输了的话，那大家就早点睡吧。我录像了。
We'll see. Yeah, this is a build that special is a cheesier Terran in most of these or. I don't know if I would say
这种两兵营其实李佩丹不怕，而且这两兵营没有太多的威力。李佩丹这种单气的双气的开局 VF 很快的。录像了。哇靠，这什么？光头死神。
Oh wait, he's building a second Reaper.
妈的，我检查一遍。
Yeah, you got double gas.
录了，不要。
No way.
哎呦，李佩丹可以哦，这个侦查，知道你们就是要玩阴的。一个狗逼每次比赛都阴我。好了，看到了呀。
Time with the incredible read right here, and that is so big for him. This is going to be scouted. Ryung, well. He may have just felt that one in his soul, because that is a rough start for Special, but an incredible.
这地堡只要下去了，你这个野兵营就没有用。刚刚好。好了呀，结束了野兵营。这个局面，李佩丹不管是2G 的时间，还是在科技上，都是领先啊。绝对领先。Major 想要依靠这样的一个战术去压李佩丹，但没有压到。其实李佩丹这个时候死神应该出门的，死神你出门了，你出一个死神也不用多。死神出门了之后，你要确认对方的这个2基地的时间，还有对方的科技。他现在不出门的原因是他有点怕你还在那边续死神和这个光头。他有坦克之后他才会出门。但是看到这个兵营了的话，其实是可以出门的。有一说一啊。好了呀，那你兵营飞起来就说明你不会打一波的呀。可以修一下，因为坦克出来了，坦克出来就可以把你这2个光头赶走了。
Yeah, Steadfast. What this means now is for Special to have a shot in this game. A couple different conditions. Maybe he slips these three Reapers in. 3 Reapers, 2 shot SCVs. So if we have time, maybe not paying attention, moving out on the map, maybe that is going to be room for Special to make something happen. And because he does have this map control, because those Marauders are defending the natural, because the Reapers are where they are, Time understands that while he is going to hold this well, his natural is going to take a while to get up. It's not going to be built on the high ground. So Special can make up for a little.
哎呦，这个炸没想到，我靠！
That's cool.
可以可以。
Yo, I've been looking for that for so long. Reapers to kill a Widow Mine with grenades.
这种就说明一件事情，妈的肥宅根本就是在往死里打。肯定是往死里打的这种。科技上隐形女妖，那这样的话，科技上来说。 李佩南也是克制了肥宅啊，肥宅这边也没有办法进去，这边有坦克，感觉肥宅要打机械化了。
Getting into those Ravens really quickly, and oh no, Special. He's committed to Cloak on the Banshee. Banshees sometimes find value. Cloak on the Banshee. Ravens are so common in this matchup.
I think I know what Special's gonna go for. And I am pretty sure he's going to go for. We'll see in a little bit because he doesn't have the gas for it yet. It's unclear.
到现在为止还看不出到底是不是机械化。肥宅这个3冠开得很快啊。 你看他这2个死神能不能绕到这个3矿？哎。 如果能看到这个3矿的话，李冰丹会对整个局势啊，果然职业化。
That it is, and we've seen Special back in his GSL days make some incredible games, make some incredible comebacks with this style. Shout out to the mech versus mech game where Special came back from like.
这玩意没有看到3矿，这有点难受。
Cyclones, their spell damage. But this is really reliant on Special forcing time out of position, as they're going to see the Banshee make something happen in the lock-on. Actually will get so many shots off. We're not going to see the Banshee go down just yet, but it's fighting not all that great. The Marines, though, not going to get.
哦，可以。 妈个鸡！隐形女妖的一个速度，这是什么打法？妈个鸡啊，怎么那么飘逸啊？看你妈，这个打法怎么那么飘啊？女妖不停，然后用导弹车。
They get out of range.
Kind of suck versus Reapers.
Yeah.
这几波其实打的李冰丹都有点意外，非常的不爽。
Oh, he's gonna get a third. Nice grenades there, Special with the quick fingers on grenades twice in this game already. And hey, quietly, as much as we've been making out how good of a spot Time is in by not taking any damage early, Special, he's at a decent supply. He's gonna start getting some tanks out to make sure he's safe. His third base is on location faster, and he's up 10 SCVs all of a sudden.
把人家撒过，没有什么机会。
This maybe not be as bad for the Mexican Terran as we thought it was.
Oh, I didn't think it was that bad. I think
你看强行点基地嘛，他走了呀。
Now 3 or 4 mag field accelerated cyclones do very big damage to a command center.
也还可以啊，锁一个，一换一不亏。而且看到你是导弹车提了这个攻击的加成，所以说。 李冰丹基本上知道你是一个机械化的开局，只是说有没有想到有这种提速女妖这种机械化，就他这个东西就不知道了。机械化也知道机械化了。
Very cool, very cool. But in this case, 4 wasn't enough time. A little bit too quick on the response. Now these Hyperflight Rotors Banshees, the upgrade is now complete. Where are they going to try and make their impact shown?
Yeah, I imagine, I mean, there's only so much space that you can cover with Time. You want to keep your Vikings together. You want to take your Ravens where they can be useful. So there's absolutely a world where maybe Special sneaks into the main base. Maybe denies combat shield, something like that. But for now, he's just going to find them. So Vikings, they're good defensively, but how quick Hyperflight Rotor Banshees are.
这种极速女妖意外的一逼好吗？这个极速女妖。
You don't want to lose something. That is a lot of money invested in those Banshees. In their upgrades, so Time's saying, "Okay, Special, you've committed to Hyperflight Rotor Banshees. You're going mech."
不能被锁到，不能被锁到坦克，被锁到坦克一下就没了。还好有光头，我靠！这直接打也打不进去，只能去推3矿。但女妖又可以去切，我靠，这女妖太飘逸了，这女妖。这妈李冰丹被打的懵的一逼，好锁，直接墙上，我靠，拼一枪。妈个鸡，打不过呀！ 好，追女妖，妈追不上。这个他的这个机械化也太飘了。这提速女妖的确是不是正常人能想得出来的这个打法。
It's got to get some damage to get rolling, but eventually it is just going to be a far more powerful composition in the straight up fight. And if we look at that last fight there, how many tanks for Special went down? It looks like, okay, he did lose 6, so that will reset his tank count a good bit, his Cyclones as well. But when you got mech, you got extra factories. You can make that happen a little bit more as these Banshees, they actually can fight these Marines.
Oh, yeah, and they'll massacre them. And they'll beat the Marauders too, which is big as well. It's such a cool style.
现在搞得这极速女妖有点没办法，这女妖。你主要你围巾追不上，要么她主动撞到你身上。但是这个可能性不大呀。
Going around, sniping off units, sniping off SCVs, sniping off tanks, and
架都没掉。妈的，肥宅他妈直接来一句，你们这些他妈打人族的懂都不懂，妈提出你要到底有多猛？哎，绕下去肯定要被抓。抓到一架两架，再绕上来，哎，妈的被晃点了。算了。
Oh my God! I cannot believe that he was supposed to lose all of them, but time was not paying attention. And now we're gonna have special.
家里面这个没有问题啊。
Absolutely getting stuffed as he tries to run by with those blue flame hellions. Blue flame having just finished up. Ooh, Hyperflight Rovers Banshees. They are gonna find. They're gonna find these Marines potentially.
Yeah, they will.
Gonna be able to pick off.
再打一下，那两架女妖就其实就没有威力了，没有任何威力。
You mentioned it's all about getting up to mech, getting up to a big army supply. And these Banshees, these Cyclones, they've allowed him to do that. He's got a lot of tanks once again. I mean, 9 tanks is quite a lot. The main problem, he doesn't have air superiority.
要直接上吗？这上不了吧？4个坦克呢。
He does have 1 Raven to 1. I believe his Raven has a little bit more energy. This one
家里面还在被烧，但是这不重要。这个其实都能守，这都没有问题。最主要还是正面没有打，并没有打。啊，解放人慢慢架，哎，这个就聪明了。给你打阵地战，这很聪明啊，打的。 因为自己有制空的优势，打不了吧？这怎么打？
There is no Marines that you can send forward. Maybe an auto turret deals with this, but that's about it. Nothing really shoots up.
Still, special kills a good
跟 Major 打真的就是他的这些打法就跟正常的就有点不一样。这盘 Major 的这个机械化它不会猥琐的，它出雷神的，待会儿就要出200人口就要推了。这波推待会儿会非常的凶。 云南这个局面怎么打呢？我也不知道这个局面怎么打，因为这个局面已经人族这个机械化已经进入到我的未知领域了，我也不知道怎么打。
Is the fact that upgrades in this matchup, defensive upgrades, matter a lot less versus bio than say versus a bio versus bio setup, because some of these tanks are going to be so sieged up that they're going to get 2, 3, 4 shots off, and a lot of that army is going to go down. So this army, as much as
雷神出来了呀！你现在这少量的解放怎么用？啊，直接9死1生，有机会，直接上，他妈生死在此一举，不管直接投，这个是真的生死在此一举了。
And this army, actually, it feels like it may get caught. We will see a factory go down. And actually, oh wait, you talk about +2 being delayed. That means it's a target. That means time can really delay this.
这波你来，我反正有2个坦克的，来嘛，换嘛，大家换。也只能换了，也没有其他办法。哎，这还有一个，这隐形的吗？这正面被打了。 基地打掉，好，好。虽然收了很多兵啊，但最后不亏。但下一波就要如何去防 Major 的这个反压了。
And I think we got to see special put right now.
Yeah, I mean, Steadfast, that is a significant army lead
火车也很硬的呀，
这
不要直接打吗？不理智啊！后面坦克很多啊，李平南。这后面坦克真的很多啊。感觉这要一波被推死了。
Time, he should lose this third base. The question is whether he can secure his core.
你还投出去，我靠
！If he can prevent Special from ending the game, from getting on top of his production, and already time setting up a really nice flank here.
I think he wanted to go for the counter attack.
这最后一波拖农民，坦克很多。哎妈的，挂了，0-1了。没了，0-1了。
The medevac sadly womping its way home. Womp goes the medevac, and time is in some big trouble. Supplies double the army supply for Special right now, and this base, it is completely forfeit. He cannot save that.
No, he cannot. Yeah, you can repair it for a while, but that is a lot of tanks doing damage. Good news for time, excuse me.
那个还在想如何翻盘，利用这个行星要塞的这个做支点，他想这野马也守不住啊，那么多坦克。
He cannot take this fight, not really. So he's got to drop on the north side here, dealing with the planetary. But while Marauders are good against armored units, and this planetary is going to be a strong defensive force, it's not going to be able to get much of anything. And now Special moving into the natural here. Special. He takes game 1.
The bromance between Special and Ryung has never been stronger as Special goes up 1-0. And apparently, on the last series is when he shows up best, playing that style that only Special plays. So much fun, such an interesting, and the biggest implications for Ryung.
大哥样的比赛不知道。
I'm looking at the mainstream right now. Ryung, Dark, they're 12 minutes in. Dark has a lead. Looks like Ryung has lost workers early. Maybe he went for one of those two-base. Actually, I think he went for one of those two-base pushes that he did against Cyril. This time it was on Hardwire. But again, I want to see at least one game of Ryung TVZ late game. I think that is going to be where his wheelhouse is. We've seen it in the other two matchups.
现在只能希望大哥2比1样。 然后牛牛哥哥能不什么希望毛西妈现在就是牛牛哥哥能不能让1追2，先把肥宅干死，然后再看后面的事情。
That's true. Yep. We do have to, of course, keep tabs on Cyril versus Showtime, but Cyril is already up 1-0. He is pressing the issue in game 2. He's actually gone for Swarm Hosts. He's playing Swarm Hosts. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Very, very neat. We are going to be getting into game number 2 in just a moment, and it is on Glittering Ashes.
这看能不能让1追2吧。
He is on the ropes. This is his tournament life on the line. If he cannot show up, he's done.
Yeah, so it looks like Ryung is about to lose game number 1. Apparently, he was actually on a really good spot before Ling Runbys killed everything, but right now he's down. 860 supply. So, Dark looks like he's going to take game 1, which puts Ryung kind of on the line here, unless we see another miracle happen. Especially his TVT is
Major 的这个接化的打法的确很飘逸。你们有见过这种 TVT 出提速隐形女吗？很少见得到。
We're going to have to see whether that has an impact. As Steadfast, we have perhaps our last game of Group B, the last game of the day loaded in here. As soon as I find
Dark 1-0是吧？那就看里边能不能拿下来。Dark 不会演的呀 ，Dark 绝对不会演的呀。貔貅你妈的好像已经发微信给 Dark 了。
And here we go, potentially the last game of the day. Spotting up at the top right, representing Kaitsu Gaming. He is in a must-win situation. Give up your support for the Chinese Terran player Time. In the red.
His opponent in the bottom left, in the blue.
大家都已经那么久了，
Playing a really cool mech style.
都已经那么久了，我们也不在乎多陪他2盘了。这个打完吧，就打完吧。
What a time to show up for Special. And you know what? There is something to be said for all the pressure being off your shoulders. Special, he knows he's not going to win. He knows he's not going to make it out of the group. He is not even really playing for anything other than pride. And once again, like I said, to potentially help Ryung.
好，这把李培南是2兵营的开局啊，这个2兵营是出死神的。他觉得要打得稍微主动一些。
That he did, and that was a game where Special went for a proxy, and it didn't work out at all. He got 0 damage. He didn't even get the consolation prize that you were talking about.
不是这个比赛，他反正0-2的话，那我也没有必要再看下去。但他只有赢了，那赢了之后，那我还会去关注一下大可打样的比赛到底怎么样 ，Cero 打 Showtime 的比赛到底会怎么样？那只有这样才会去关注这2场比赛。他妈他输了其他比赛有什么好关注的？都结束了呀。
He's going 2 barracks Reaper on Glittering Ashes of all maps.
Now, it is worth noting that he's building it in base, so it's not the heavy commitment to, cutting SCVs and putting it on the map. It's not the lost mining time of those SCVs having to go all the way across the map, but it is a commitment. It is a commitment, and this is the kind of thing that could go very well for time right here. Special gonna move forward into this Reaper.
哎呦，你
It's
那
gonna
个
come
打
down
不
to who
过，
gets
我
the first
靠
shot,！And Special takes down the Reaper. Time says,
那李
I
培
don't think I'm
南
gonna win this. And
上
he
来
makes
这个心态就
sure
有
that he
点
won't.
不好啊，
All what he should have done,
而
just
且
stood and fought.
第一个死人拼完之后，
Do
你
not
没打
run
过，那
away
他死人
when
到
you
你
were
家
that
来，他
close.
必然会知道你家到底是什么
Huge
情
blunder
况
from time，
你两兵营的这个
on
战术已经被暴露了。
elimination point.
But Steadfast, you got to remember, Special does not take a path through the middle of the map here. He does not know what time is doing. He sees the natural going down
还
now,
在这
so
边
he knows
烧
that, hey, there's
等他
something
回
up
来，
here.
哎，这
I
一
gotta
来一
be worried
回，
about it. But Time's returning home. He says, I care more about keeping my natural getting up here
追
than
掉又
any
怎么样
sort
呢
of damage on the other side of the
你知道
map.
两
Three
兵死
Reapers
神
are
了，
going to be shown to Special.
别人
That
俩
is all he needs
别
to
人的
see.
双倍
The
火
reaction
车
Hellions will be the response, and it is not looking good for the Kites of Terran.
Certainly not.
不，
He
他
does
绝对
have
不会
his
瞎
commander
打，
on the
首
way,
先，
but
他绝对
Special
不会
has
瞎
his
打，
done.
输了就是实
Special
力还
got
不够
the。delay on his opponent's command center. He knows how late it is, and it bought enough time with time coming back home for
啊，
Special
这个
to get these
哎
Hellions.
呦，
Look
还
at
好
the
死了一
lineup
个，还
right
行，
there. So close to losing all
还行，还
four
行，还行，
Reapers.
死了一个。
Does lose one,
但
and
基
now
本
it's a
上
10 supply
里
lead.
面他利用
Well, it
用了
wasn't
一
for-
个死
that's
神
what
的
it's
代
like. It's a
价，
7 supply lead.
也知道了
For
对
Special.
手就 Major 的这个
And we
开
see
局到底
Time,
是什么样
he
子。
was still-
他这一
granted,
招
I guess
最
you just don't
就
wanna
强
cancel
的
the Reaper.
强是
Six
强
Reapers
在
does
有一
one
波
shot in SCV,
有
which is
兴
why he
奋剂
goes
的
to
枪
number.
兵，
Oh,
两
he's
船
got
兵的
high
空
ground
投
points. It is 4 Hellions here. This is not going to work out for Time
啊，
here.
这操作有
The
问
lineup,
题啊，
so
这
many
上都
Reapers
上不来
die
了
in。an instant. This entire idea from Time has been figured out. Losing the Reaper early. Time, maybe he's tired. Maybe he's just bad
他
luck.
这个
I
战术
don't
最
know.
强就
But
最强势就是
Special,
两
you
船
talk
兵空
about
投有
no-
兴奋剂的那一波。
absolutely no requirements on his play anymore. Well, the one requirement, he wants that series win prize, and it looks like the way things are going, he is going to get it. And Steadfast, look at what he's doing. He's not going for a third base. He's not looking to take the game much later. There are more Hellions on the field, and he's got a Liberator as well, really looking to put the hammer and tongs to Time.
6 Hellions is quite a lot. We did see Ryung going for that as well. We are going to see the Reapers running across the map. There is this bunker on the low ground, but if Special could get into the main base,
家里面空投倒不是特别怕，但是就怕这个双线，家里面直接解放者一架，然后正面火车强穿，解放者守住了，正面强穿，这个还行吧，还行吧，还行还行，4个农民还行。
Not that much, but the Liberator
解放者也没什么血。
I thought it would just die.
Yeah, Steadfast, but you got to remember that's not a lot. That's only 4 workers. That
但
is 4
但
workers from
现
a
在的
time he
问
was at
题
like 33
不是
at
说
a
解
time.
放者
He
或者
was
骚扰的问
so
题，而
far
是
behind
你的
economically
战
that
术被
losing
Major
more
看到了，
workers
那
there,
Major
it
只要在
makes it
家
so
里面
much
为
more
守
impactful.
防
So
守，
now Special,
你这个两船兵
Armoa nursing a
兴奋剂的两船兵
13-lead
去投
SCV
最
lead.
猛的一波，你是
That
投
being
不到
said,
东西。
though,
就
Time
这一
has
波，
a
这是李培
really
南这个战术
powerful
最
timing
最
coming
核
on
心
up.
的一个打
His
法，
stint
就
is
是
done.
两船兵。
He's got 2 medevacs, well, 1.5 medevacs full of Marines running across the map. And what does Special have to defend? 11 Marines.
你看
Raven on the
Major 已
way.
经在
For the
防
2
了，看到没
tanks,
有？
he's gonna
坦
have
克
to
都已经架
position
好
very
了，
well to make sure he does not take too much damage to this.
这种很难投
The
到的
good。news for Special, he scouted the 2 barracks. He scouted the reactor on the starport. He knows that this is a kind of modified 2-on-1. He actually knows that he killed a couple Marines as well. May not be thinking of that, so he may still think
都已经
it's
在
at
防
full
了，
power.
知道你这个战
Regardless,
术
he has these tanks in
是
a
怎么样
very
怎么
well
样
entrenched
变化的。
position. He's got the bunker on the natural. He's got the 2 Ravens tucked in a good position to respond at either
一把雷
base.
达撒过，
Time, he's gonna scan,
没有任何
he's gonna be
机会
like,
啊。
son of a... And he knows that
这
he
李
needs
培
to
南现
get
在
a
其
lot
实
done to
打
make
的
up for this
挺
disadvantage
绝
that
望
he's
的，
in.
其实
But he does have a 3rd commander center
真的
sitting
挺
on
绝望的。
location.
这个时间点，其实对于
There are
一个选手
Ravens
来
that
说
Time，wins in a macro
就
game. He's not out
就
of
你
it.
0杠1落后，
He's
然后
really
你
far
你
behind.
这个局面还打
Yes,
就
Steadfast,
非常
we've
的
seen
不顺的情况
miracles
下
out，of it already. We
对
might
一个
see
选手的
another
心
one
态
here,
是
but
非常
again,
煎熬
Time,
的
he's。got to make a lot of work happen. The Liberator finds a
哎，
nice
解
siege
放
up
者
in the natural.
反
But
应
man,
还
Time,
可以。
really good reaction time there. He will respond. He's not going to lose too many
因为这个
SCVs.
解放加的很好，没有好像没有位置能打到他。
He does lose the ability to get to find his way back into a game where he is
导弹
again
车上来也行
behind
吧。
massively in the SCV count, behind massively in the mining. But he's moving out on the map right now. He's going to have combat shields done with this too. And while eventually Special's army is going to be a lot better with Stim, with 1-1, again, 1-1 massive timing lead, there is room for Time to make something happen here. That is a big army that he's got. But unfortunately for him, Special's not taking his 3rd yet. He understands the game state.
你想架这个位置你也架不到，别人是有渡鸦的呀，有2个渡鸦，对吧？你这2个坦克现在这样架着，他待会儿兴奋剂好了，直接渡鸦一锁，直接坦克一上你就没了。好了呀，啊，直接上。还行吧，也还保护住自己2个坦克。哦，这几炮轰的还可以。但还是那个问题啊，就是肥宅的这个整个的科技上来说的话，的确要比林丹领先太多了。林丹现在能压住的原因是因为肥宅现在他的这个兴奋剂什么的还没好，就他而且肥宅忘了升盾牌了，这是很大的一个问题。现在才刚刚升，兴奋剂好了，主要盾牌没好。你看现在又要靠无限的压制，他想要把肥宅的这个3矿直接打飞。谈何容易啊！那么多坦克，这个上就没了。我也没办法，他只能上，他也没办法，只能上。输了。
Well, you talked about advantages, and they were equalizing, but now they are massively in favor of Special. Look at the supply. It is 149 to 88, 76 army supply to 33. A huge SCV lead, a huge army supply lead. Time, he had his destiny in his own hands, and it slips through his fingers, and Special is now pushing across the map, could eliminate Time and provide Ryung the miracle run.
Yeah, this is 2 series in a row now, Steadfast, where we have seen Time go for this impatience, this desire to end a game or to find an advantage where there was
这个挡不住了，已经挡不住了，别人坦克直接架在脸上，林丹应该要放弃，最后冲一波，但明显兵就不行，GG啊，那没话说。没话说，这个输给肥宅0-2没话说，那的确里面他的实力还不能够在这个小组能够出现。唉，算了，我们今天的比赛就到这结束了。我们明天的下午再来欣赏 IEM 的卡托维兹的比赛吧。我也不行了，兄弟们，明天见。
Mr. Replacement Man, Thermal did make it out of group stage or out of play-ins. But it did not matter because Ryung channeling his energy. The guy has what, 200